If you are struggling with SMC, I'm willing to bet that it's because you're trading internal structure without understanding what's happening externally. And if you don't change that, then you're going to get more of the same, which is just frustrations and losses. So in this video, I'm going to clarify exactly what is internal and what is external and how you can trade better understanding both. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Justin Bennett, Forex trader since 2007, full-time since 2011. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's get into it here with the EURUSD. And we're going to walk through in this video what is external, what is internal, so you can completely understand this when you are trading SMC. And look, this isn't going to be a sexy video. We're not talking about, strategies and how to shoot for a 10R, or a setup where your reward is 10 times your risk, things like that. Okay, this is not going to be a sexy topic, but I can guarantee you that it is going to change the game for you. So in the EURUSD, in this example here, right, and I want to talk about this today just because the price has been so sideways here for the euro. And what tends to happen is traders get caught up in all of this here that's happening internally. So this is a 4-hour time frame. If I go to a 1-hour time frame or even a 15-minute time frame, you can see that we do have some swings here. It doesn't look as congested, right? But the thing is, traders are still getting chopped up here because this is all just internal to what's happening externally, okay? So let's go to a 4-hour time frame because this is the easiest way to identify the external highs and lows on a chart. Okay, yes, you can do that on the hourly time frame. That is my time frame of choice for directional bias, but I'm doing this here to prove a point because the 4-hour really makes it very clear. So when we look at the euro here, you can see that we have this high up here, we have these lows, we have this high up here, and then we have these lows. So overall, what the market has done here recently, and if we go back even farther, you can see that, we have the lows down here as well. This up here, this was more internal, and I'll show you why. You'll understand this by the end of the video, but you can see that overall, right, for the past few weeks, this is what the market has done. So this is your external structure, okay? So when you're marking this out and you're identifying your BOSs and change of characters, okay, your break of structures, you can see that back here, we do have a change of character off of this low. So following the close below over here, we did have that confirmed change of character back here. That meant that once we had this high develop, which was lower obviously than this one back here, and then we had the market closing below here, we did get a confirmed bearish break of structure, okay? So overall, you can see where this market is technically in a downtrend, albeit a very slight one, right? For the most part, the market is sideways, but this right here is your external structure, and this is paramount. You have to understand this if you are going to trade. Because look, a lot of traders out there will tell you that you can't trade internally. And I'm going to say that's absolutely false. You can trade internally. The problem is when you trade internally and you don't understand the external structure, okay? So that is what is key here, is that you have to understand what's happening externally on this chart if you are going to trade the internal price action. So now that we understand that we are in a slight downtrend here, let's talk about what is happening here internally, okay? So what I want you to do is start to label your charts in this way, okay? Because this is going to keep everything clear. So you can see that back here, I have this BOS, right, off of this low. Now, this was the confirmed close below here, so the acceptance below, this gave us a BOS. Now, what you'll also notice is that, and remember, this is our external high up here. So what you'll notice here is that we have this low down here, and we have this high. Now, everything between here, okay, are going to be internal highs and lows. So we have internal low, internal highs, internal low, internal high, internal low, internal high. You get the idea, right? So when you're labeling out your charts, when you're labeling your charts to trade SMC, what I want you to do is start labeling everything internal with an I BOS, okay, or an I change of character. Now, you don't have to do this. You can label it whatever you want, but I do encourage you to put something behind this so that you know at a glance whether this is internal or external, because it can get very confusing when you're looking at this here and you see that we have this BOS over here, okay, this BOS here, and then this one here, right? Which one is the actual BOS? Well, this one over here, I know is external, and this one right here, because I have a lowercase I in front of it, I know that this is internal. Okay, so what is happening here on the EURUSD? And by the way, guys, if you do want to know exactly how I trade SMC full time, then check out the link somewhere here on the screen. That's going to give you a free SMC strategy. So it's a 3-day course. It covers everything of how I trade SMC full time. And then beyond that link too, you will have a chance to join us there in Discord if you want. So that's my help every single day, Monday through Friday, along with VIP only videos, seeing my trades live, trade ideas, all of that good stuff. And also obviously the course that shows you via dozens of videos that I put together that you won't find on YouTube exactly how I trade as well. So let's go ahead and get right back into it, guys, with the euro here within this downtrend. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just to keep everything nice and clear for this video. What I'm going to do is label this up here. Okay, these highs up here, our external highs. Okay, so this right here, I'm going to label external high. And again, I encourage you guys to do this when you're marking up your charts so that everything is just very crystal clear, right? Eventually, you won't have to do this. But when you're just starting out and learning this stuff, I do encourage you to, again, label things as an IBOS, an I change of character, and then also mark out your external highs and lows. It's gonna help you a ton when you're going through the charts to keep everything straight, especially if you're trading multiple markets. Okay, so we know here that this right here, right, given the 4-hour time frame, like we talked about before, that what we have here for the euro is we have the change of character back here, right? We had the lower high develop. We had the close below over here. Once we have this, we have our BOS. We also have our external high. We also know now that this is our external high the moment that we come off of this low and trade back here internally, okay? So everything is mapped out here, guys. What this means, what this is going to come down to right now is that obviously the market is very sideways. Now, what this is going to come down to is if we close below here, okay, give acceptance below here, now we have another BOS. This tells us that sellers are in control and we could see lower from this market. Now, at the same time though, let's talk about what's happening internally. Okay, because here on the 1-hour time frame, you can see where internally we have that IBOS back here. Okay, so we have the breakdown here, sellers in control. This is our external high. Once we have the close above here, this gives us that internal change of character. Okay, so internally, we do have a bullish shift. Okay, but here's the thing. Traders end up getting themselves caught in looking at the charts like this. Okay, and they see this right here and they think, oh, this is the bottom for the euro. Well, look, it could be, however, you have to understand the context. Yes, it could be the bottom for this internal move here to where we get the market pushing back here into some imbalances and then possibly a lower high again. Okay, but you've got to understand what's happening here externally, the fact that we have been trending lower before you just get caught up in this right here and assume that the euro has bottom, that this is a macro bottom for the market. Okay, because externally, right, in the context of this chart here over the past couple of months, you can see that the market has been trending lower. This right here, even though this is considered a bullish shift, it is an internal shift relative to this external downtrend. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now you can trade this. Like I said before, you can absolutely trade this. It is completely untrue that you can't trade internal price action, but you have to trade this understanding where you are in the chart. You have to trade this understanding that you are in an external downtrend. So that is the point here. Now, internally too, let's just go ahead and complete this since we're on this topic internally, right? This high up here, now that we've had the internal change of character, this high up here now becomes your internal level that buyers have to take out. So what this is here is the level extending off of this change of character high. Okay, so in order to get follow through, in other words, in order for us to get another internal BOS here to the upside, okay, buyers would have to take this out. So if you are at all uncertain with this market, and look, you should be because this market has been very sideways for quite a while. But what this is going to come down to is this. We have the external low, okay, over here. We also have this internal high here following this change of character. So in order to get another, internal break of structure above here to continue this internal uptrend, if it's going to be one, then we need to see buyers take this out. We need acceptance above here to give us that internal BOS. Okay, because what that would look like here is if we were to get acceptance above here, then you would essentially have this right here. Okay, you'd have another, internal break of structure, and then that right there would open up some, possibly, buy side targets up here, possibly imbalances like this through here below that external high. Okay, but again, the whole point here is that you've got to understand that this right here, what's happening right here on the chart, is internal to this external structure, external highs up here, external low down here. Now, the very first thing that a lot of people will say, if I make a video talking about, well, if we break up here, then this is an internal break of structure showing you that buyers remain in control within this internal uptrend. Or if we break below here, then we have an external break, another bearish break of structure to the downside. And what people often say is, oh, great, you're telling me the market can go up or down. That doesn't help me. Yes, it does. It does help you because you have clear levels to invalidate, or in this case, validate a scenario, right? And so if you have that right here, that's all you need, guys. This is all you need because remember, you're not trading the breakout. Okay, you're not waiting for this up here and then buying against this. You're not waiting for this down here and shorting against this. All you are doing is waiting for acceptance either above here, okay, close above here, and then looking for longs against any sell side imbalances down here like this, okay? Or if we get the move lower, same thing, right? You're looking for buy side imbalances. If we're down here, buy side imbalances for the market to come back up here and then continue lower. So this right here, either the close above this high up here internally, okay, is going to give you acceptance, showing you the buyers remain in control. That's all it tells you. It's not the setup. All it tells you is that buyers remain in control. If we get the close below here, taking out this low, it tells you that sellers remain in control and you're looking for shorts, but this is not the setup. Okay, this is just your confirmation of who is in control. And again, right now, we don't have any of that because this market is completely sideways. So understanding this too is a way for you to sidestep choppy price action like this. Don't get chopped up in these markets, guys. Label out your levels, label out your highs and lows, and then just wait for the market to give you confirmation. Because then from there, again, you are not chasing these markets. You're just using this to confirm who's in control, and then you're looking for buys or sells on that retracement. But the name of the game here, though, if you want to become a better SMC trader, is to understand where this is relative to the external structure. As we discussed before, this right here, you can absolutely trade this, but you have to understand where this is on the chart. And when we look at this in context of the external structure, it is technically still bearish. That does not mean that you cannot trade this internally, but you've got to understand where we are on the chart, because that's going to dictate how much you risk on the trade, whether you even take the trade at all, your targets, etc. Okay, so I hope that this video helped. If it did, then keep it locked in here, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out the link in the description for that free course that's going to teach you exactly how I trade SMC full time. So until next time, trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.